This video has been a long time coming. For years, my wife Julie and I, we've known that we wanted to shake things up a bit in our lives, and we finally entered into that adventure. You know, even as high schoolers, we would talk about this idea that life is a gift, that the time we have, it's valuable, it's precious, and that we're meant to be grateful for it and make the most of our lives. And the thing that happened was what happens to everybody at times. You grow up and you start a life and you settle down, and you know, we bought a home and had 2 kids, and with all of those responsibilities and with our great jobs that we loved, you kind of start to let go of some of those dreams that you had, or that we had. We started to let go of the dreams we had in our own hearts. And so as my daughter Quinn knocks on the glass out there, I wanted to just take a moment and just begin. Hey. All right.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Quinn wanted to go for a walk, and I'm not about to sit here and talk about how precious life is and then turn down a walk with my family. But yeah, we did the walk and a playground, and then we had dinner, and now here we are 24 hours later. But what I was about to say is that I want to take a moment and just begin sharing with you some of the details about this adventure that my family has started. And I want to kind of go backwards and explain some of the backstory about where we are and how we got to this point. So earlier this year, Julie and I, we decided that we did not want to miss this opportunity to live out a long time dream of ours, which is to travel the US and just experience and see all the beautiful places that this country has to offer, that this world has to offer. And so after a few months, we committed to it. We decided we're actually doing this. Although it's pretty crazy and scary and risky, I'm going to leave my job. We're going to rent our house in New Jersey, and we're going to begin booking Airbnbs in different places across the country that we would then drive to in Julie's car with ourselves, our 2 daughters, and our cat, while towing a trailer full of our stuff, like a small utility trailer. And so we got serious about this planning. We began booking places. We began telling those closest to us that, hey, this is what we're doing. And it began getting the ball rolling. And a big part of this whole process for me, a big part of this dream, is this opportunity to just document and share some of the experiences that we have throughout this adventure. And so I want to rewind back to July 2021 when we first started to begin getting our house ready to rent it out.
Step 1 of moving out of our house. Get everything out of our attic.
Woo.
So one of the big things that hit me early on in this process is feelings of gratitude and thankfulness, and just feeling really overwhelmed and fortunate. And I started to have a new appreciation for our home and for the life that we lived there and for all the stuff that we had. And it almost made me question whether or not, like, is this the right decision? But I know in my heart that this is the right decision. So I experienced all of those emotions, and it was a good thing. And it helped me kind of close that chapter out and begin the next one with this real sense of presence and thankfulness.
I'm excited to pack up, and I'm also like sad.
I'm sad too.
Today we are officially packing up our house, at least starting to. It's gonna take us quite some time, but we have 19 days left until we move out of our first home. And so we're throwing things in boxes and getting packed up.
Almost everybody farts.
Mommy fart?
We'll find out.
So the last month in particular in our house was very emotional. But before I get into those special moments that made it so emotional, I wanted to just talk about like the specific details of our trip. I talked a bit about them before as far as us renting out our house and renting Airbnbs. But one of the things about becoming a landlord is that we get to set some rules. And one of those things was we rented our house fully furnished. We left all of our big furniture, our beds, tables, like we left all of the furniture in the house, which made it so much easier for us as we moved out. Plus, we don't really know what the future holds. So in 2 years, when that's up and we're kind of done traveling and we're ready to settle back down, if New Jersey's the place to do that, we'll have that stuff there. But another thing that we added into with our renters is we took the attic of our garage and just made it off limits so that we could store a bunch of our stuff up there, which it ended up being a bunch of stuff. Quinny.
Hi.
Hi. Are you helping?
Yeah. I'm coming you. Daddy. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, love you.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.
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 Just leave it out. I will find it when I get up there.
Daddy, where's Pat? Where's Pat go? Where's Pat?
You want to play in your sand for a little bit? So another crucial part of the plan is this trailer that we would bring with us when we go places in order to bring our stuff. This trailer, it deserves a video of its own because it's quite a story in the way that we actually ended up owning this trailer and having access to it. We were prepared to like rent U-Haul trailers, but we're really fortunate that we have this one. And as we began to decide what was coming with us and what wasn't, you know, there was more and more that we decided, hey, we're gonna bring, especially for the kids. So that trailer got filled up real quick. And so one of the final sort of details about this plan that would make it work for us is we needed to sell some of the things that we owned, and we sold a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, which was super helpful. But 3 things in particular were quite big sales, meaningful things of ours, and those were my motorcycle, our boat, and my car. So we sold those 3 things, and it was really sad to see them go, especially the motorcycle and our boat. But fortunately we sold the boat to really good friends of ours, so we'll get to be on it again hopefully next summer.
Hey guys, hey guys.
Hey Quinny, hey Quinny.
Watch me go. Watch me go.
Watch you go?
Yeah.
But I mean, saying goodbye to your stuff, to your possessions, although it's not easy, especially if you have cared about those things over the years, you know, that's not the most emotional part of ending a chapter. For me, it was the lasts, you know, the moments that would happen, and I'd say to myself, I think that's the last time that's going to happen while we're here living in this house. And I said it before, I don't know what the future holds. You know, we could find ourselves back in that home one day, but it won't be the same. It won't be when Quinn and Mela are this age, when Julie and I are this age, and these people. And so those last, they started to pile up, and it made it pretty emotional. And one of the ones that actually was kind of sad for me was the last time I cut the grass. I don't know if there are any guys out there who mow their lawn and enjoy doing that, but I certainly have over the years. And when I cut my grass for the last time, you know, I might have shed a tear or two. At least it didn't break. Hey man, come on, don't judge me, all right? People get attached to different things. Like Quinn, she was overly attached to our neighbor's pool. She loved that pool. She would talk about it all year long. Didn't matter what the temperature was outside. So when she said goodbye for the last time to their pool, she was so sad.
So sad.
Why?
I'm not open now.
Are you sad?
Yeah. So sad.
So sad.
Yeah, so sad.
Do you love swimming in Ernie's pool?
Yeah, so sad. I'm cold though. I'm cold.
And then there were these other moments that were very personal, that I did take time to film so that I could watch them back years from now. But you know, it doesn't feel right to share in this way. But the moments like the girls' last night going to sleep in the house, their last morning waking up, just the special little family moments like dinner. You know, I was feeling overly present in that last week, and it was emotional and it was overwhelming. And I know for so many people who kind of close out a chapter, something that meant a lot to them, that this is a really natural sort of feeling. You know, we felt sad, but also really excited.
Enjoying one of our last nightly walks.
I'm gonna miss these times on one paddock, or just paddock.
Paddock.
Guys, look. Why?
Sun.
So cool.
As we got further on and we got into that last week and the last few days, we got so busy with the amount of stuff that we needed to pack up. And, you know, I was ramping up things in my job, and Julie had a lot of things going on as well. And it was like all culminating at the same time, and we were just trying to keep up with all of the tasks. And it was stressful. But we had chosen and made a decision which caused that stress, and because that was the case, you know, we were able to rise to the occasion because, hey, we're the ones who chose this. We are getting packed up, and this whole basement is getting closer and closer. Still a huge mess. but a lot less stuff than it was. So we had what we thought was our last night in the house. The girls had already gone down to Julie's parents so that we could get as much done as we possibly could. You know, we had some champagne with dinner, and we continued to work through the night packing and cleaning. But the next morning we ran into a pretty serious problem with our water. It was shut off, so we couldn't do a bunch of laundry, we couldn't clean the dishes, we couldn't clean the house. It was a mess. It caused us to have to actually stay way later that following day. So we had another dinner at the house, which ended up being our actual final dinner there. And once we got everything packed up, we left. It was about 2 a.m. Bye, house. Here we go. Living out of this here trailer for who knows how long. We took the trailer down to Julie's parents and went to sleep, and we ended up spending the whole month of October back in our hometown in Audubon, New Jersey. And we lived with Julie's parents during that month. So thank you so much to Bill and Elaine for allowing us to move in and hosting not only us, but our two girls and our cat Beefy. And we made the most of that month. And throughout that time, I ended up finishing my time at my job, a place I worked at for 7.5 years. And we got our trailer all figured out. We left a bunch of stuff at Julie's parents, and which they allowed us to store there. Again, thank you. And we got the trailer ready to head down to our first destination. We would check in on October 31st, Halloween, in Bonita Springs, Florida, which is where I'm sitting right now in our Airbnb, the first of this 2-year adventure. And I have two other parts to this kind of this opening story about how we got here, and I'm going to share them with you in the next couple videos.